Mind. So welcome, guys. I know you, like I said, I've heard so many great things about you. For Brittany, we have a lot of Claire's coaches on here tonight, which is cool. So just to kind of give you guys ooh, a little bit of a background, Claire started coaching with me. She was the very kind of first coach that started the business with me. So that was about 8 months into my coaching journey. I'll say I kind of messed around the first 4 months, but it took a while, right? And so I've seen her go from somebody who's like, okay, I just got to figure this out. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it, to now leading a team of dreamers alongside of her. And so I've gotten to see her progress through big life moments, right? You know, she got married last year and now is living with her husband. And I really think she's proof that if you just run the marathon and you just stick with it, no matter what comes your way, no matter what punches get thrown your way, that you will see success and that everybody's journey looks different. So I wanted her to get on and kind of talk about that, because I think sometimes we think this is just like rainbows and butterflies. And yes, there's big joys in coaching, but it is a roller coaster. And I think it's important to talk about those things that seem a little scary and are outside our comfort zone, and how she's kind of worked through those. So just for you guys to know, Claire is approaching 1-star diamond. So she'd be my first star diamond coach ever. She was my first diamond coach ever. So she kind of knows what she's doing. She's hit Success Club 9 months in a row. That's just kind of some of her accolades. And like I said, she's just proof. If you just keep running the race, you keep with the marathon, good things will come. So I'm going to shut up now and let you go for it.
Well, thank you so much, Danielle. I was actually talking to Richard before this, and got a lot of love on Facebook today. I've honestly been so excited to do this. I'm going to first of all tell you guys, I am a speak from the heart kind of girl. My team knows this. I don't I don't necessarily ramble, but I talk from the heart. I talk from experience and try to lead that way, lead from my heart. So I don't have anything, like I don't have slides or anything prepared for you guys. I want to share you guys my journey, my story, and a little bit of how I got here, why the hell I'm still here, and what kept me fighting through everything. So first of all, thank you so much, Danielle. It has been one hell of a ride and one hell of a journey. It's not over yet, and it won't ever be over. But I'm going to also talk about that too. Talk about my mindset. Talk about like what has kept me pushing, why I keep pushing, because everyone's why is different, and your why is going to be different from mine and from Danielle's. But to kind of give you guys my story, I guess, my team kind of knows a little bit about how, like, more specifically, like the health and health side of it, why I got started. Because, much like a lot of you guys, I wanted to lose weight. And my team knows I joke all the time that I had said no and ignored Danielle for 8 straight months. Eventually I started talking to you like a little bit, but I still was like definitely pushing you off. I was like, no, I definitely didn't want this. Yeah, I just flat out ignored you for so long. But I was just like a lot of the other challengers that we get all the time, that I was still watching her journey like a hawk. Because not only did I watch Danielle lose the weight, I wanted to see if she would stick with it. And then when I saw that she was traveling and making money, and I was like, what the damn hell? This girl gets to lose weight and travel and pay off student loans. Like, I work in goddamn mental health. Yeah, let me also say this. I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary at my job. I work for a mental health nonprofit. I make this amount of money. And I actually just finished my master's degree back in the fall. And I will all thank you. That's also a big part of my journey. And I'll also talk about some big decisions I made while I was in grad school. So basically, why I got started was because I needed to lose weight. I was very unhappy where I was, and I've been sharing my journey, my story a lot more about that on Facebook. But I got started because I needed to lose weight. And I was one of those people that got started. And I don't know if any of you were like this when you signed up with Danielle, but for me, I actually just looked up this the other day. I signed up on June 23rd of 2015. June 23rd, which meant that I was started my first challenge group. It probably wasn't exactly July 1st, but that very first week of July. And I also started my Coach Basics training the exact same day as I started my first challenge group. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but here's why I said yes to coaching. Because I make this much money and I knew I pushed hard on Danielle. I was like, you need to tell me the cost. Tell me the cost, tell me the cost, tell me the cost. And if she screenshotted that conversation, you guys would be able to see how many objections she had to fight through with me. But eventually she told me, she's like, Claire, and actually you never even threw it up easy. You didn't throw it up fast. You were like, Claire, if you can help 3 people a month, you can offset your cost of Shakeology. And honestly, that's what it took for me. I've been one of those people, I've always posted on social media. And before that, I was already posting about my running and my cooking. I love to do those things. So I already kind of had, I don't want to say that I necessarily had a following, but I already had a presence. And that's all that mattered to me. I wasn't scared to go out there and post. I was scared to be a coach and whatever that meant. But in my mind, I was like, I have to do whatever this takes, because if I don't pay off the shake, my fiance is going to kill me. And at the time we had separate finances. So he didn't know that I put my entire challenge pack on my credit card, because we didn't have joint finances. We didn't join our finances till like 6 months ago. So, yeah, so I was like, I need to find a way to pay this off. I wasn't even thinking long term. I wasn't even thinking about like what I could do to change my life. I just at the bare minimum, I was like, I want to do this, and I want to do this long term to help change my life around physically. That I just needed to find a way to break even, and that was my focus from day one. And I think a lot of my team can kind of speak for the same. But I've taught my team to also, say that that's great that you can have financial goals, but if you don't put those people first, then you'll never reach your financial goals. And that's what I also had to learn too, because coming from a place of feeling very financially strapped makes you kind of almost default into that I don't like to say money hungry place, because I don't think that's exactly where I was. But there's a problem. Like, I kind of ran my business like that. I was very focused on the dollar. So for me, when I joined this business, I hit Emerald in just under 30 days. I hit Success Club and Emerald in my first month as a coach. But it's ironic because I hit Success Club in the last 3 days of those months. So I was at 0 all of July until the 28th, 29th, 30th. Like, literally I locked it in at the end. So, which is ironic because I just did that in February. But I did it, and I was like, holy cow, not only did I hit Success Club, I hit Emerald, and it was a really awesome moment. And then I hit Success Club again in August and September, which was really exciting because I was like, whoa, okay, I can do this. I can help 3 people. And I became what's called a success starter because I hit Success Club in my first 3 months of my business, and which earned me a free ticket to Summit last year, which, if you guys know a little bit of my story, I'll tell you guys here, it was the same weekend as my wedding. So, which Richard and I have been engaged for well over a year and had our date for well over that, so I couldn't switch that around. So Danielle, luckily, showed me some love while she was there. So this will actually be my first summit this year, which I'm really excited about. But so kind of going back to my business, I actually hit diamond for the first time within 4 months of my business, but it was a shitty diamond. It was a really shitty diamond. And honestly, guys, it was a shitty diamond if I were to be quite honest with you, for the first year of my business. Honestly, I did hit lifetime. Actually, it's really funny. I hit lifetime diamond on my birthday, which is April Fool's Day, if you care to know, April Fool's Day literally fell on Thursday last year, which obviously is rank change day. So, but what I realized, so in the fall that I was building my business back in fall of 2015, I was very focused on getting to diamond because I saw Danielle had become recently diamond just before, like I had started just around that same time. And I was like, oh, I want that. But of course, in my mind, I was like, well, it took her a year to get there. So my first few goals as a coach, when Danielle told me to write down my year goals, whatever, and I was like, become diamond. She was like, girl, you're not going to take a year. And I was like, oh my God, it's so scary. Oh my God. And she was like, no, we're going to change that. And I didn't believe her, but I still worked hard. And I was like, okay, whatever. We'll see where this goes. And, but my problem was I was so focused on diamond, not because I necessarily, like, yes, like, I think we can all agree that we all like being called out. We all like, the shout outs, we all like being recognized. But I mean, that's not the sole reason why I was shooting for diamond. I was shooting for diamond because I needed some money change. I needed to change my rank so that I could change my business and change the amount of money that I was bringing in. And I knew that diamond would get me there. The problem was I thought that diamond would I thought diamond would bring in thousands of dollars. I literally did. And I can't sit here and say that that's not true, because there are plenty of diamond businesses that do. But the way that I built didn't. And I'll be quite honest with you, because of the way that I built early on, and I didn't fully know what I was doing, it still kind of resulted in the same. So I'm still focused. So now I've learned how to be a better builder, and I've had to restructure a little bit. It's taken time. So I'm still not at that thousands of dollars raining in point as a diamond coach right now. But anyway, so I hit diamond. It was like early November, actually. I think I was in a diamond push group. I hit it. I got to have a piece of that diamond push pot. Got a little cut of the money. It was great, but I lost it. This is what I remember. I hit diamond, and one of my best friends had signed up to be a coach with me. And I don't really push this business on my best friends. If they want it, I let them come to me. One of my best friends is one of my lifers, actually, not a coach, but she's a lifer challenger. But my other best friend really wanted to coach, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's great. And she hit Emerald and Success Club within the first 3 days of her business, because that's how, like, she was very like, oh my God, I have to pay for this, like, even more than me. And so she signed up. It might have been I can't remember if she signed up on like a Friday or Saturday. She hit Emerald and Success Club by like Tuesday or Wednesday of that week. I hit Diamond that Thursday, and then by a few days, like by that Monday, so this was within barely a week and a half, she completely canceled her account. Like, completely canceled her account. Which meant that which is really ironic, because Danielle, your team calls used to be on a Tuesday night. She canceled on a Monday. And because I was Danielle's first diamond, the two of us were really excited. Danielle had already said, Claire, you're going to speak on the team call, which I was kind of like you guys. I wasn't running a team. I wasn't running my own team calls, but she was like having me speak to talk about my little journey to diamond. And I fell into a puddle Monday night. Like, I cried, and I was so upset, and I was embarrassed. And like, I was like, how the hell am I going to talk about diamond when I just lost it? And I had talked with Danielle for a long time, and I learned one of the first lessons that took me, I didn't fully learn it that night, but I had to start swallowing the fact that working towards diamond is a decision. It's a decision that you make in your head about what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself that you are not a diamond coach, then you won't be a diamond coach. If you tell yourself that you're not an emerald coach, then you're not going to be an emerald coach. And I started to start telling myself, I had to start like saying to myself, Claire, you are a diamond coach, even if you're at an emerald rank, even if you're at like the original coach rank. I had to start believing and like telling myself that I was these things, even if I didn't believe that I was them yet. The saying, like, fake it till you make it. I had to start learning how to like fake out my own mindset so that I could believe that I could get there one day. And it didn't happen overnight. And honestly, I struggled for months because I would beat myself up about this. So I went, so from the time that, so from that early November, I, I went up and down. I would like get it. And the problem was the way I was building for a diamond was really stupid, guys. It was really stupid. I won't lie to you, I was kind of desperate. Like, one of my best friends had her mom under her. So I was like, hey, do you want to sign up another friend? And she did, like, meaning like we had both asked this other mutual friend of ours if she wanted to do it. And the friend did. Like, we didn't push the friend into it at all. And so we were able to make my friend Emerald. But guess what? You can't rely on those people because they're challengers, and challengers do whatever the heck they want. And the other person went in, her mom stayed active for a while, but the other person went inactive. And then I was trying to put under people like under my mom or like under my spouse account. And it was just a mess because the thing was, I didn't have actual coaches on my team. I had nobody running with me, which I know for a lot of you guys, when you're brand new, you're like, well, I don't have any coaches with me. I don't have anybody running with me. I am by myself. So that's all I can do right now. And I'm not going to tell you not to build your spouse account because you should. But don't do what I did, and make stupid mistakes and desperately grab at straws just to get to diamond. It's not worth it. That's how your business will fall apart because you can't rely on those people. And it's just, I look back and I was like, my God, it was such a mess. And it was honestly, it was really hard emotionally because it messed with my mindset. I wanted to be recognized as diamond around a bunch of my other teammates who were also hitting diamond, but they were also hitting lifetime diamond. And I wasn't, because I kept missing qualification because I kept dropping rank because challengers kept going inactive. And it was annoying as hell. So anyways, I'm talking a lot about my my journey to diamond, but I kind of realized I didn't actually fully tell you a little bit about the rest of my life and what was going on with my life at that time, because I want some of you guys on this call to understand that this business is not just meant for people that have like their life put together and that you can just like, oh, like, you have a good job, you have the free times or whatever. So to paint you guys a little bit bigger of a picture, when I started this business, it was the summer before I went full-time in grad school. I'd already been a grad student for a couple years, but that August, I was starting grad school full-time, meaning that I worked 30 hours a week at my job. I interned 2 days a week for my internship, and I took 3 night classes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And let me tell you, I can probably count on one hand the number of team calls that I missed in 1 year, legitimately. Like, I think I don't even know if I could say it was a full 5 calls that I ever missed. I jumped on every single one of Danielle's team calls from the time that I joined. And because I knew that joining this team was a commitment and I was willing to do what it took. And I can't tell you exactly why I thought or felt that way when I signed up. There was just something in my gut, something there, and I'm so glad it was. And on top of school, internship, work, and running this business, I was getting married. And my wedding was one of 5 weddings that I was either in or attending last year, including one of them being my best friend who was getting married 2 weeks before me. We were each other's maids of honor. So I was busy as hell. So my team is slowly starting to learn this from me, but I'm really over the I'm too busy excuse. I'm a little over it because I love you and I say it respectfully because I've had to learn my own ways of how to get over my own excuses about being busy because that was my excuse forever. And if anybody, Danielle would sit here and like anybody around like wouldn't tell me otherwise because you would look at my life and a lot of times I felt like I was falling apart and thinking, what the hell am I doing coaching? Like, I don't have any extra time. But I wanted to be a coach more than I wanted to be in my job. I wanted to be a coach more than I wanted to be a therapist. And that's what I was going to school for, guys. I was getting my master's in counseling, become a licensed therapist. And so I guess I'll share that part about with you guys. I fell in love with coaching like from day one, just literally from day one. Even though my first month I was scared as hell. I'll never forget being so overwhelmed in my first month of training, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? That means I have less time to hang with my husband, like, because the whole eating right part and sharing that on social media, I can do with my eyes closed. Like, I can show up every single day whether I'm actually running my business or not. Like, that's something like is not a problem for me at all. But actually showing up and doing the work, that's the hard part for me. And I think a lot of us can agree, because that takes actual work. It takes actual, like, sitting down and being disciplined and doing it. And that's something I've had to learn and master over time. But anyway, so yeah, I fell in love with this business from day one. I saw the potential, and I just immediately grasped on and was like, this is what I want. Again, I just can't tell you why. I just fell in love with this community. I fell in love with this challenge group. My first challenge group changed my life. People from all over the country that I didn't know were commenting and liking on my stuff, or encouraging me, saying like, your legs look great, like your stomach looks great, like you look awesome. And these are like people that I looked at, I'm like, you are way prettier and skinnier than me, and you're like loving on me and appreciating me. Like, it was just incredible. And I was like, this is the type of community and people that I want to be around, and that I hope to help lead one day. And when I learned more about like the top coaches and financial freedom that was there, I was like, my soul just like set on fire. I was like, I don't care how long it takes me to get there. I don't care if it takes me 5, 10 years, whatever. I don't care. That's what I want. I want to be able to help pay off my student loans. I want to be able to pay for Richard's student loans. I want to be able to pay Richard back for all the money that he spent on on us and our wedding. And I want to be able to match his income, like I have these big, huge goals now, and it's becoming a coach has allowed me to dream again. I think for a lot of us, when we go into college and everything, we're told, get a career, find a stable path, and find something that will make you good money, and do that for the rest of your life. And for me, like, I'm the oldest of 5 kids. My parents worked 80 plus hours a week, and I was raised by nannies. I never saw my mom. This could probably get me really emotional. And to add in a whole nother layer to this, I saw a therapist for a whole year last year, and I'm damn glad I did. And I needed it. But I never really saw my mom as a kid. My mom couldn't go on the school field trips. My parents were always there at my soccer games and stuff like that. They were great because it was more after school and stuff like that. But my parents were busy people. They loved me. It's like, I can't sit here complain. Like, I come from a middle-class white, like, America, I can't complain. Like, I had a wonderful family. I love them we all loved each other very much. My parents were busy as hell because they're working so hard to support their 5 kids, and I was the oldest of them. And sometimes I felt like I didn't have a great relationship with my mom because she wasn't, and it wasn't her fault. It was just because she wasn't around. And and I found out through therapy, I was just like, this is part of what's driving me now, is that Richard and I are on the cusp of starting our family, not now, not this year, but like one day. And I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home whatever. But Beachbody is giving me this opportunity that I could provide for my family and be home and create the kind of flexibility that I want because I choose it, not because somebody else is dictating it. And when I realized those things were deep inside me that I never knew they were there. I honestly never knew they were there. Because guys, when I say that, I literally never wanted to become a coach. I didn't have this gut feeling in I want to be an entrepreneur one day. No, that was never something that's ever come across my mind ever. And I still don't know if I necessarily see myself as an entrepreneur, but those things have started to shape like what my why is now. Sorry, I got a little off topic. I was talking about grad school. And so while I was in the grad school, I'm having all these thoughts and feelings because I'm seeing my business grow. I'm loving my challenge groups. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving growing a team. And yet I'm like, I just had this feeling. And I distanced myself at work, distanced myself with my coworkers, my I'm saying the students in my classes, whatever, like classmates. Sorry. Thank you, dear Lord. I had a really hard time even talking to Richard about it because like Richard is a little background on him. Richard's a first generation, not only is he a first generation college student, he's a dentist for some of you guys that don't know. And he's worked his ass off to be where he is. So for me to say that I'm going to go to grad school and decide that I don't want to get my license to become a therapist, like it wasn't an offense to him, but he had a really hard time swallowing that. Like, why are you going to pay all this money to get an education and a degree and not do anything with it? And that's honestly the crossroads that I came to. And that's not the entire part of my story, but it's part of where I was at and where the journey that I was on. Because that was my track. That's what I wanted to do. Like, you know, a couple years ago, like 4 years ago, when I decided I wanted to go to grad school, is because I wanted to become a therapist. I wanted to help people. And honestly, when I became a coach, I realized I can help people in a way that I never thought I could. And before coaching, I used to laugh and say, man, I wish I could just work out and cook for a living. I literally remember Richard and I used to live 2 blocks up the street from here in the first place that we moved in together. And when I really started running half marathons and things like that, I remember standing in that kitchen saying that. I can remember what it was cooking and everything, which is so funny because I feel like that's what I'm doing now. Well, I'm not full-time yet, but that's what my goal is. It's around my vision board right here. And anyway, so I made that decision and it was really hard. My parents don't even fully know, but they haven't really asked questions because clearly I don't have my license. I'm not in school right now. But I eventually told them my job and they were fine. I'm still working for them. They don't have licensed positions there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I overcame that battle, and that it's because I also did a lot of therapy, a lot of crying, and a lot of things that helped me kind of through that part of my life. So I just wanted to share that part because, you know, I think a lot of people think you have to put coaching in a box, that you have to be some sort of person. And I don't want to sit here and say that you have to make drastic decisions in your life like I did, because there are plenty of people, like there are plenty of coaches that I know that are physical therapists and that are like, you know, or doctors and things like that, that still do coaching on the side, you know. You don't have to be some kind of certain genre of person, whatever, to be able to be a coach and to be able to do this. So I just had to share that was because I kind of forgot that it's been like a year since I actually really formally made that decision. So anyway, so let me kind of go back into like last year a little bit. I mean, the long and short of it is that I got married last summer. And, you know, my business, by January of last year, my business did start finally picking up. I realized that my business was really crappy. I actually started January with 4 coaches. I started them in training, and 2 of the 4 came out in December. And ultimately, one of those coaches is still with me today. Actually, it's Caroline's upline. Loretta is still here, and Loretta has been an amazing fighter on this team of ours. And but I realized the only way that I was going to be able to make it this business if I could start duplicating what I was trying to do. And it's really funny because in January is when I finally started. I don't think I ever really posted much about the coaching opportunity on social media, and I finally started like talking about like my team, but I didn't really have one, but I talked about wanting one, and I talked about the community and the vibe that I felt here on this team call and what it's done for me. And it's ironic because as soon as I started posting that, my coach Julie, who's in my challenge group, she's like, what's this coaching thing? I want to do it. And it's because for an entire month, I did nothing but post about that. I shared my journey about my health and fitness and all of that. But just like what Danielle said, like what you share is what you get back in return. And, and to this day, Julie and Loretta are still with me a year later. And it's been amazing to watch that. My business kind of, again, I eventually hit Lifetime Diamond because of Julie and Loretta's hustle last year. And it was amazing to see them really grow and take off. But as this closer we got to summer, I realized I was becoming more and more overwhelmed with the wedding, with juggling school. My summer classes went to 4 nights a week because of the summer schedule, and I was kind of just emotionally maxed out. I was 2 months out to the wedding, and I just, at this point, I actually had a success partner. I had partners that I had before. I was one of those people that I always needed a partner. Like I am a slightly dependent person. I've realized I need somebody to help me. I need somebody to just be close to me. So my team knows that I'm obsessed with Nicole. But yeah, I met Nicole through what's it called, one of those success partner groups that I got linked up with, and we've been working together for over a year now. Never met, but we're going to meet for the first time in Punta Cana this year, so I'm so excited. But Nicole has been my backbone. We've been, since we started, we have talked on the phone every single week. We plan everything about our business together. We run everything together. And it only got better when I came back from the wedding. But I took a step back from my business, and it's kind of funny because my business I will say my business did fall apart a bit last year. I can't say it completely fell apart, but I had to rebuild when I came back from the wedding, because as soon as you take a step back, you can't expect anything to happen. and I didn't expect that, but I worked hard enough to make sure that I hit Success Club. And one thing I think I left out was, I kind of really jumped over this, but as soon as I started, once I had my 3-month streak, which I told you guys, I was like, ooh, I'm shooting for All-Star. It is game on. I am going for All-Star. And it was like eye on the prize, because I saw Danielle was pushing for that, and she hit that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get this. And I had locked in 6 months because I started in July, and I hit July all the way to December, and I was like, whoo, this is good. I'm good. I'm a good hustler, and blah, blah, blah. But the problem was, what you didn't actually know is after Thanksgiving, I took my foot off the gas. And even though I did work for Success Club in November, December came pretty easy. 3 people just came to me. But I can't really say that I was doing the work. I can't really sit here and tell you that I did power hours every day. I can't really sit here and say that I did invites or much of anything in December of 2015. So what happened was that by January 2016, a year ago, I did not hit Success Club. I literally thought that because of this whole New Year's thing, people would just come to me. That January would be easy because that's the year that everyone wants to start the New Year's resolutions, and that people are just going to want to come to me. That it's going to be really easy in this business because being in health and fitness business means that that's just what's going to happen in January. So I managed to hit Success Club before, but I broke my streak. So not only had I dropped rank probably at least 4 times by then, and actually, Danielle, if you might remember this, I actually think I was set to hit Lifetime that first week in January, actually. I think that's what it was. And I literally lost it over about, I think, 20 PV points. I think it was literally that many PV points. And again, so I didn't hit Success Club. I missed Lifetime rank for basically over a 24-hour window. I missed it, and I had to start all over again, and I got beat down again, and I was like, oh my God. And the problem is that I just kept beating myself up, and but I let it fuel my fire. I hit Success Club again in February. In March, I hit Success Club 11, my highest ever. And March was actually the month that I had the highest income and the highest Success Club points. And it was also because my team had started to take off. And it's also because I had started posting about coaching publicly. But then April rolled around, and I can't exactly tell you because March was great. And I actually don't really remember April very vividly, but I think that's when my mindset started to shift again. I let my mind control me as opposed to me controlling my mind. I let myself be the victim. I let myself feel sorry for how busy I was. And I won't lie. I mean, yes, I was very busy, but I let myself be a victim to that. I let myself just talk about like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm so upset. And honestly, I gained weight. I gained like a lot of weight back. And it was frustrating because I was really stressed out and I just let it control me, and it was awful. And that's why they say, like, really go all in. If you go all in with your fitness, you'll go all in with your business, and the world will see that. And problem is I wasn't doing either. And I think I hit Success Club 1 in April. It was embarrassing. And I just did the same thing of beating myself up, and Danielle would try to lift me up, and it was kind of one of those things I was just like, no, go away. Like, I was just a mess. But again, I let it fuel me. Never once, I don't think you guys have ever heard me say that I ever quit. I never quit. I maybe once had thought about it. I think around the holidays, like of 2015, I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, I just want to hang out and be with my family. But I never wanted to quit. As hard as it was, I never wanted to quit. I knew it was hard and I wanted it to be easier, but I never wanted to quit. So in May of 2016 rolled around last year, I just ponied up and I was like, I'm going to hit Success Club no matter freaking what. And I can finally say that I am now officially 2 months away from locking in Success Club All-Star. Despite February looking really scary, as some of you guys know, I have hit Success Club every single month since May of last year. And the reason that is because when I came back from the wedding back in August, even after I took a step away from my business, I still made a Success Club my priority. And even if I wasn't running power hours, I was still doing some work. I won't lie, but probably July, the month of my wedding, I had to really kind of step back. But and I got a lot of cancellations, a lot of people going inactive, and I just kind of watched it happen. I would just tell them every time I got a cancellation email, I was just like, well, I'm a failure. I didn't support them. It's my fault. And I just let myself, and I just said, I'm a shitty leader, and I'm a shitty diamond, I'm a shitty coach, whatever. And somewhere along there, even though I was a lifetime diamond, my emerald slipped and it brought me down a rank, and I sat at emerald rank for, I don't know, I think almost 4 months again. Like, it was a long time. And but when I came back from the wedding, Nicole and I kicked it into high gear, and honestly, we haven't looked back since. And the game changer for me, honestly, and if you guys want the secret sauce, someone said it really great today, and Danielle, I don't know if it was on the call today that you posted that, like, you can learn how to do so many different things just by like going online and Google and going in the back office. Like, you can learn how to do so many different things. It doesn't matter how you do it, because what I do is might not work for you. Like, I can share my scripts at the end of the day, but your audience might not be receptive to them. They just might not care what you have to say because it's not in your words. But my point is, what changed my business, what changed me, was when I decided that I had to change from the inside out. And I'll share the little actual snippets. But my team knows that my favorite and biggest and best personal development that changed me was my faith. And that's not for everybody. So I'm not here to plug that. I'm here to say that for whatever reason, that's what worked for me. That might not work for you, and that's fine. But I listened to every kind of personal development under the sun. I listened to compound effect, girl code. I need to like pull up my phone, but I have over 24 books in my Audible library. I won't lie to you guys. I'm good at personal development. I do it. But just because I do it every day doesn't mean that I actually learned something and that it actually, well, that's a lie. I definitely learned things, but whatever you're struggling with, that's the personal development you need. And the problem was that at my very core, since the day that I signed to become a coach, my problem was that I didn't believe in myself. I did not have confidence in myself. And anytime anything bad would happen, I would blame it on myself. And there's a difference between taking ownership over your mistakes and just flat out beating yourself up. And my problem is that I was my own worst enemy, and I'm the reason my business sucked because I let my mind rule me. And I would even I remember even thoughts in the shower of being like, why, God, why? You know, I work so hard. I'm so busy. I'm doing all these things. Can't you cut me a break? Like, can't you just like make X happen? Like I'm doing all these hard things. Probably the same thing I was praying in February. I was like, I'm literally doing the work. Oh my God. But honestly, I for me, something told me when I came back from that diamond retreat, because I went to this diamond retreat with Danielle. And actually still, I mean, I was definitely working my business really hard then, and things were starting to turn around, and I was feeling really good. But I went to this diamond retreat embarrassed as hell because I was at emerald rank. And I was like, I don't deserve to be here. I don't belong here. And I was embarrassed. And, but I still had earned it. And when I left that retreat, I said, I'm throwing away this shitty attitude of mine. I'm throwing it away. And I can really happily say that I am not that girl anymore. I threw that shit away because I am sick and tired of sitting in a room and doubting myself. I am sick and tired of letting my thoughts around myself. Sorry, I'm really emotional. But what changed everything for me is when I started standing up for myself and say, and I'm looking at these sticky notes that I wrote down here. But I have the first one that's right here. It says, I inspire others. People see me as a leader. People want to be on my team. People want my help. And these are things that Joel Osteen taught me. And that might not be your cup of tea. That's more than fine. But he had a book called I Am and Think Better, Live Better. And I swear by them. That's just what changed. I had to change from the inside out. And it's honest to God, guys, I start every single day with him. Every single day. The second book, I can tell you, because I have like at least 3 to 5 of his books. I listen to him before I listen to new wake-up calls, before I listen to anything coach related, because I've now learned what I need. I've learned that the only way that I can start my day on a good positive attitude is if I fuel me with what I need. And then that gets me in the attitude that, okay, yes, I've got this. I can do this. The Power of I Am is one of his books. Think Better, Live Better, and Breakout are my top 3 from him. But so when I say that, you know, and I, it's funny because I always believed in personal development, which, you know, they say I wasn't one of those people that wasn't doing it. I just never realized the power of matching your struggle with personal development. And I never realized the power of what that would do until I did that. And honestly, that's when my business started to take off. So to give you guys an idea, I'll share a few numbers with you guys. So we came back from the retreat, and Danielle just cut me off at any point in time. I'm such a talker. But we came back from the retreat, and it was October, and I still hit Success Club 6 in October. But then I hit Success Club 8 in November. And then December, I hit Success Club 16. In January, I hit Success Club 14. And Now, granted, like, so that's not just all complete mindset. That was also, again, I won't, this time I will say, yes, there was some New Year's resolutions in there, but it's because I also hustled, and it's also because I invited like crazy. It's also because I went all in November, and I did a quarter force test group, and I literally went all in. I signed a contract just the way I have my challengers do that, and I got results, and I shared the living crap out of it. And ever since I did quarter force too, guys, and I went all in, that's how I run my business. Every day, almost every single day, if you went to my page, you could, I mean, almost every single day, you will see some kind of fitness post. Like, I almost start every single day with a fitness post. That's just kind of what I do now. But because I need, like, because people need, like, to see that I'm a proof of the product, and that's what I'm doing. And if you follow my, like, in my snaps, you'll see more of my my journey there. But I had to learn how to be a challenger again, and learn how to remind myself that, yes, it's so important I had to relearn the basics and just be in phase one. And, Danielle knows I am not a type A perfectionist person. Organization is not my strong suit. I thrive on structure. I thrive on organization. I'm not great at it. I just thrive on it. So it's like I'm one of those people that I need it. But I have a harder time implementing with it myself, and that's what's made it harder as far as like doing the actual business work. So I've had to fight hell hard to be here because of my own lack of organization and structures. My business has fallen apart because of not having better systems. So I've had to, learn along the way and change the way I do things, and that's why I lean on Danielle for her, resources and things like that. And I try to teach my team too the same thing of like, you are not an island. Like, don't, like, you have a team for a reason. You have me for a reason. You have Danielle for a reason, and if not us, like, there are other people in our network that you can even lean on too. Like, my team knows this, I'm a firm believer on success partners. Like, you need somebody in this business to help you. And it's not to say that Nicole didn't change my business, but because of her and I working together, we changed our businesses. We both did together. And so I'm a strong believer on that, because I could never run it. Like, I still to this day, I don't run challenge groups by myself, and I know Danielle does, but like, that's just for me. Like, we just love doing it. And I apologize if I'm wrong, sorry. But we just love doing it together. And I think our girls and our challenge groups kind of thrive off of that. But
Hey Claire, can you talk about last month? Because I think it's important that, you guys have seen her consistency. You know that she's struggled, right? And I'm going to give you guys some takeaways that I think I've heard from her. But I want you to share last month, because I think a lot of you, or maybe you don't know, like, Claire has elevated herself to a leader's role, right? She has a team. We all want to duplicate. We all want coaches. But there's still struggle in this. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll also talk about how my team has also really grown since the fall. I'll probably say since November time. Yeah, actually, no, literally since I came back from retreat. I'll talk about that too. But February, so I had a really funky time, because I've been pretty serious about running my business ever since August when I came back from the wedding. I literally had to rebuild. Like, I had so many cancellations. I had to rebuild almost from scratch. And so I told you guys my numbers for December and January. Those were the highest numbers that I've ever hit. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And guys, I started to let that think in my mind, whew, I have made it. I'm here, successful of 10 for the rest of my life. We're good. Like, I've hit that moment in my business where, whew, things are taking off. Like, this is great. And I won't lie to you guys, January was amazing. I hit it was my biggest income month ever. And I'll still never forget that moment when I could walk into the bathroom and tell Richard, like, I walked in the bathroom because he was in the bathroom, but and tell him that I had hit this milestone. And after all that hustle and hard work, it's really funny because I was at Success Club Zero the entire month of February. And actually, if I take you even further back, I had a challenge pack on February 7th, and I didn't sell anything. Well, okay, this is why Sam, you signed up on like January 31st. Let's pretend that didn't happen, but you were technically under Richard's account, so Richard technically your coach. But so I mean, really from like January 7th minus Sam all the way until February 28th, like almost like 2 months, I had nothing. And well, Sam, you do count, but like you and I have been talking very seriously for a long time, so you were kind of like a matter of time. But and I was getting frustrated as hell. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, guys, I made it. I was like, I did it. I hit Success Club like 15 2 months in a row. I hit like awesome milestones. My team's growing. Like, what the F? I was mad. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed seeing, honestly, members of my team and my coaches that were hitting points on the board, but I didn't. And I hate like the comparison game. I was looking around. I mean, I didn't let it run me, but so guys, here's what happened. I was showing up every day. I was still doing my power hours. I was changing up what I was doing, and I don't think there's anything necessarily completely wrong in what I was doing in February. You know, I was also kept trying to blame it on February as a hard month. I mean, I can't completely disagree with that. I think it was a hard month for a lot of people. But I didn't take my foot off the gas in January necessarily, but I look back and when I relooked at my numbers, I definitely wasn't inviting as much as I should have, is also part of the reason why. But what helped me get through February, and I talked about this a lot with Danielle, is that the difference between me this February and last year and times when I didn't hit Success Club or I missed those goals I was shooting for is because I let that negativity come in for a second, because negativity and fear, like it rides with us. It's always going to be with us, right? It doesn't matter how great of a mindset you are. It's just always going to be there. You just have to find a way to swat it away. And thank God for Joel. But it's like everything happens for a reason. Like I needed Joel to help me get to that point because I was literally being tested. So anytime something would come into my head saying you're not going to hit Success Club, or I can't tell you guys how many no's. I had sent over 200, probably close to 300 invites within about 2 weeks. And I mainly got crickets, mainly got nothing. But I got a lot of no's, and every time I got a no, it was a reminder. It was like my mind was trying to say, hey, Claire, look how shitty you are. It was like that temptation of just trying to bring me down. And a year ago it did, and I let it bring me down. But this year I was like, no. I was like, I don't care. And I was like, I will fight to do whatever I can, because I was like, I am not missing this milestone. I am not missing this mark. I'm going to help people, and that's what I'm going to do. Because I was like, I don't think I could face Richard and tell him that I couldn't do it this time, because this point, this is my life. This is what I want to do. I'm not getting my therapy license anymore. You know, like I have to do this. And, you know, I honestly, I'm trying to like look back, but I mean, honestly, a big game changer for me was just that I didn't let go of that. I didn't let go of the fact that I was not going to give up, and I just didn't give up. And I reached out to Danielle, and I just honestly was like, help me. I was like, you know, and I was just very humble about it. And I was just like, what are different things that you do? And I was open to trying to do different things. And I just didn't give up. And if that meant sending 50 more invites in the last day of the month, then I did. If that meant getting on the phone with 3 different people at 9 p.m., I did. And I invited more people, and I went from Success Club 0 at 9 p.m. on February 28th to Success Club 6 by 11 p.m. on February 28th. And it was the most emotional, like I actually got like that night, I think after I got off the phone with you and Danielle, I mean, I was just like, whoosh, like emotional. So like, holy crap, I can't believe this happened. But guys, I used to think that kind of stuff happened to the people that were lucky to the people. And you might sit here and think and look at me and think, oh, that she is lucky. She is lucky that she found coaches. She is lucky that she's diamond or has been able to get to this place. And I used to just constantly use that word lucky, and I kind of effing hate it because I struggled so damn hard, but I struggled because I let myself struggle. Not because it was anybody else's fault. It was my fault. I struggled because it was my fault. And I also worked my ass off to be where I am right now. And though I might not be where I want to be yet, I'm still fighting, and my team is still fighting. And yeah, you just have to be a fighter. I think is really what it is. And don't give up.
Well, I thought that was awesome. I wanted to give a few takeaways and kind of sum this guy up. I know it's been an hour, and
yeah, I'm sorry. I have to talk.
But I think really, guys, a couple of things. Claire leaned into the team when she needed it. The worst thing you can do for your business is to sit back and, like she said, be on an island. So being quiet on the team page doesn't really help you in your business. Asking questions, posting conversations, cheering other people on like they were your own coaches or your own challengers builds momentum, builds culture, and builds excitement. She adjusted the sales when things got tough. Because, again, the worst thing you can keep doing is the same thing if it's not working. You got to change it up. You got to be excited about what you're doing, or people feel that like, oh, I don't want to send this message. But if you're excited and you're happy and you're feeling good from your health and fitness, it's going to show in your business. She talked about doing whatever it takes. She stayed up. We stayed up together until almost midnight, the last day of the month. And I told her, though, I said, I am not doing this again. You get me one time only. But the thing is, she earns the right because she's hit it 8 to 9 months prior. And so when you get coaches, you start to understand who to give your time to. Because if I did that for all 20 of my coaches, I would never get my business done, right? So you have to do 80% of your time in your own business as you start to grow a team. Starting out small and hitting those small milestones and celebrating them every step of the way. Claire just wanted to pay for her Shakeology, and you don't have to want to leave your job. Beachbody can be the vehicle for you to do something you think is fun. I know Beth on our team, she wants to own a wine bar. She probably wouldn't do that without Beachbody. Don't think that you have to focus on leaving your job with this. Yeah, it's possible, but it also can be the vehicle to freedom. And I think with Claire, she talked a lot about personal development. Beachbody forces you to expedite your growth. And sometimes we don't like the things that come out, but it forces us to kind of realize our potential through that. And my Post-it note on my computer is growth happens in the struggle. So there's some times where it's going to feel like a roller coaster, but you have to enjoy the journey. Because if it's stressful, it's not Beachbody in life. It's Beachbody is part of your life. And when you treat it that way, it doesn't become the last thing on your list. It becomes something you're excited to do. And I think that it starts with the vital process, plugging into a program, starting at 100%, sharing that journey every step of the way, and then teaching other people how to do the same. And the reason that Claire has grown a successful team, and seeing 3 of them on here right now, is because when the new program comes out, she's going to get it on her test group. She's going to plug in. She's going to share that journey. And then 2 weeks into her challenge group, she's going to pick those challengers that are rocking and invite them. But not saying, join my team, saying, hey, you're really awesome. You're pretty much doing what I'm doing. And that's how you grow crazy income. Duplication. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking how the heck do I grow a team? You just start with yourself and you share that journey every step of the way. And we talked about it this weekend. I'm not going to talk too much, but one thing Claire has never not done, and I think you guys can all agree if you've seen her social media, she has always posted every single day since she started coaching. I'm pretty confident in saying that, if not 2 to 3 times a day. And so she earns the right to send those 100 invites last month. Because too often, I'm going to talk to her team tomorrow about this, too often we go invite, and we talk about ourselves. You shouldn't be talking about yourself in your conversation. You talk about yourself on your public journal of social media. And then in behind the scenes, you're asking about the other person. It's all about them and how can you help them. And that's really how she's grown her business, by putting other people first. And she said that just making the decision that, you know, help enough people achieve their goals and you'll achieve yours. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I think she's just really proof that we have the marathon mindset. Expect bumps in the road. Expect you have the tools to get over them. You can do anything you want in this business. And everybody's journey looks different. So put your blinders on and run your own race. Any other closing things, Claire?
Oh my God, I feel like, and I'm sorry guys, I'm such a talker, and I realize there's so many things that I wanted to talk about that I didn't get to, and I was trying to talk as fast as possible. But honestly, if there's anything you take away, just don't ever give up. Like if this is what you truly want, just don't give up. Like, you might try 1,000 different things in different ways, and that's okay. That's part of the process. You know, you're going to fail at certain things, and I failed at a lot. And you know, if I look back, I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I just listen to Danielle the first time and do it that way? But I had to fail along the way to get to where I am now. But just don't ever give up. Always focus on running kick-ass challenge groups first. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 takeaways. Don't ever give up. Run kick-ass challenge groups and help your challengers fall in love, and go all in, like 100%. Give up alcohol for your 30, 60-day program. Like, literally go all in, go nuts, even if that means through St. Patrick's Day, through Easter, all the holidays. Like, I was sober and didn't have dessert on Thanksgiving, guys. Like, it was hard, but I did it. People need to see you as an example, and then they'll hustle with you. So
yay. Well, thank you so much, guys, for hopping on. I appreciate it. And it matters you're here. Also, team call plugin, just saying. Get on every call. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you guys so much. Sorry for all the talking, but love you guys. Great to see you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you guys.
Bye.